Hello and welcome to video number 94. This is me learning how to use the AKAI MPC Live III and passing on to you all my tips and tricks as I do so. We're returning to the wonderful world of MIDI again today. I've done a couple of videos on the Live III concerning MIDI. I hooked it up with a Poly-N synth and then in another video an Electron Octatrack 2. Today I'm going to use my Arturia Keystep 37, probably one of the most successful, popular MIDI controllers that has been on sale for the last, 6 or 7 years. I've had this for about 4 years and it's absolutely rock solid, a brilliant keyboard, and this is a great partner to the Live III, I think. So I'm going to hook it up to it today. I'm going to show you how I use the arpeggiator, and I'm going to show you how I use these MIDI controllers on the top. So I've got a brand new project in the Live III and we're going to make a start from there. Let's talk about cabling first of all. Now the Arturia is both USB and 5-pin DIN MIDI. Originally I was just using the USB cable plugged into the Live III to get power and to send MIDI data, but I had a problem with it in that I couldn't get this pitch bend to work. So I've gone back to a proper 5-pin DIN MIDI cable. So it's coming out of the Arturia, MIDI out from there into MIDI in on the Live III. I've got a standard USB cable, sort of a printer cable, going into my computer hub to get power to the Arturia. So we've got power to the keyboard and we've got MIDI going from the keyboard into the Live III. There is a newer version of this Keystep 37. It came out this year, 2026. I don't think the setup would be much different if you've got one of those. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change this default track to a plugin. It always defaults to a drum track. I'm going to press this icon here and that's going to give me the list of the other possible track types. I'm going to choose plugin. Now it always defaults to Fabric. I'm going to change that to Mini D, which is a kind of a Moog. So we'll go for that. And that's in there. Right, let's be nice and tidy and label this track. Right, so we've got this Moog track here on track 1. Okay, so if I play my keyboard, everything's working fine. I'm playing the notes, the pitch bend's working, modulation's working, and obviously the notes are working. These 4 knobs on the Keystep are for sending control change messages to, in this case, our Live III. So I'm going to set 2 or 3 of those up. There are 2 modes on this keyboard. The chord mode, and it says CHD if that's on, and the bank mode, and it's the bank mode we need where we've got the 4 banks. If I hold shift and press this button, so it's white for bank 1, blue for bank 2, magenta for bank 3 and green for bank 4. Let's just go to the first bank. We're going to set this up. Now to do this we need something called MIDI Learn. So I'm going to press the menu button and I'm going to go to page 2 and here is the MIDI Learn button. Press that and we've got this kind of blank dull screen here. Now I need to press the plus button here. So a few things have popped up there and we're going to fill in a few of these. First thing is source. It says none. If I push down on the data dial I'm going to go to track. I've only got one track, Moog. If I press on that it brings up another Moog which I press on. Now that's in source. So that's what I'm going to be controlling from the Keystep. Now I need to set up the parameter on that Moog synth that I'm going to be controlling. So I go to target, push down, I'm going to go to track, push down, and I'm going to choose glide time, which is a kind of a portamento sweep. Push down on that. That's come up here, but there are no details filled in on type, channel or data, so it's not going to work yet. Right, I'm going to press the Learn button here. I'm not going to use this first one because I think that's attached to the modulation. I'll just leave that for the moment. I'm going to rotate this second knob to see if it picks up. And it did. And it says here, absolute control change, MIDI channel 1 and data is set at 64 as things stand. If for any reason that doesn't work, double press menu to go into preferences, go to MIDI sync, and if you look here, where it says MPC One, that's the MIDI input one. If that control is not lit, if it's like that, put your finger on that and make that go bright so that you have control over the Live 3 from this, you see. So whatever input you're coming in on, in my case it's MPC One, you've got to have the control on. Okay, let's come back to MIDI Learn. That's all set up. If I press the edit button to go to the synth and I press controllers, if I rotate this knob here, it should change the glide time, and you can see it is. So that's working, so I'm controlling the glide time with the Arturia Keystep 37. So that's one of these knobs set up. Let's do another one, shall we? So we'll go to Menu, MIDI Learn, Plus to make a new one. Got this new strip come up here, saying None again, so I've got push down. I'm going to control the same synth, so Track, Moog, Moog. The target this time, right, so I'm going to go to Track, and this time I'm going to look for filter cutoff. Right, so I want low pass filter cutoff. It's this one here. Push down on that. So it's come up here. There's nothing under type, channel or data, so it's not working yet. So I've got to press learn. That means that it's going to make my Arturia learn this. I'm going to use this controller here, controller 3, bank 1, rotate it. Now this has come up. So it's going to work. Go to the edit page of the synth. Now I need to go to modifiers to see this. And if I rotate this knob, you'll see it's changing the cutoff. And you can hear that's working really well. So I've got two controllers set up. So the glide time is working. And on this page, the filter cutoff is working. Okay, let's just do one more. So back to MIDI Learn, Plus for new one, new strip, None, so we're going to change this to Track, Moog, Moog. The target this time, well, I'm going to go into this, I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the mixer this time, Pan. So what we're doing now is we're setting up this knob here to control the panning of that Moog sound. So I'm going to press Learn, going to rotate this, it's come up. Now I won't see the panning if I go to the edit page. I need to go to the mixer page or the main page. Let's go to the main page. I'm going to open this up. Now this is the pan control here where it says C. So if I rotate this, you can see it's moving left, right. So it's pretty good, isn't it? I mean, this really is a lovely keyboard. It feels really solid. Although it probably is made of plastic, it just feels really robust, really nicely made. So I've set up 3 controllers. I could set up 4 in this bank, then I could go to the other banks and set those up. So I could have 16 of these set up, controlling 16 sounds on that synth. For the moment, I'll leave it at that, but you can see how it works. But the thing that really gave me the headache, and I'll show you again, is on this MIDI sync page, I didn't have that control on. That was off, and because of that, I couldn't get the Keystep 37 to send control messages to the Live 3. I mean, it's obvious when you see it afterwards, but at the time you think, what on earth am I doing wrong? I was hearing the notes fine by playing the keyboard, but I couldn't send any control change messages. So make sure that's on. I mean, yes, of course you can play the sounds on the pads, but there's nothing quite like a proper keyboard. And if you're a keyboard player like I am, it's great to have all the keys and to be able to play chromatically and, of course, pitch bend and modulation. I don't like these plastic strips. I would prefer an actual analog, if you like, wheel for the pitch bend and one for the modulation, but you know, they're okay. I suppose it keeps the cost down. I say keep the cost down, but this was about £300, so it wasn't cheap, but it is very good. Okay, so we're able to play notes using our keyboard. We're able to send control change messages to the synth. We changed the glide time, we changed the filter cutoff and the panning. What else can we do with this keyboard? Right, well, it's got an arpeggiator and a sequencer. The Live III does have a really good arpeggiator and an absolutely brilliant sequencer, so perhaps I won't worry about the sequencer, but I will show you the arpeggiator. There's a switch here. Up is for sequencer and down is for arpeggiator, so we'll use the arpeggiator. Now, I won't do it on this sound because it's not a particularly good sound for it. Let's make a new track. I made this sound called Woodpecker Les, so I'm going to use it because it's a very simple sound, very straightforward sound. So we're going to use the arpeggiator on the Keystep to fire sounds in this particular synth on this track, which is track 2. So how do we do that? I've got the Keystep on arpeggiator. I've got it set to 1 up. That means it will go up 1 octave, and I've got the division set to semiquavers 16ths. This is the speed of the arpeggiator. If I press this button here, it's a pause and a play, and I hold some notes down, you can hear that it's playing the notes on the Live III. I can add notes. Typical arpeggiator. I can hold that. Doing that, turn that off and it will stop. Now you can see this is going because I'll show you why this is actually moving forward. If I go into the menu, preferences, if I come down here, you'll see that the MIDI clock is on. Okay, so if I just come back to the main page, come up here to the bar, beats and tick window, if I press play here on the Arturia, you'll see it's running here, which is okay because I want that anyway. Let's just reset this back to 0. Supposing I want to record that arpeggiation, if you like, into the sequencer of the Live III. Let's just make a quick drum track just to help us get our bearings. So we'll make a new track, drum, so this is track 3. I'll call this beat. Okay, that's good. Browse, go to drums, classic drum machines, open, let's find one we like. I'm going to come into that MIDI menu again. I'm going to turn off that receive clock because I want to do this at the speed that the sequencer in the Live III set at, which is 90, I think, by default. So we've got our beat running and that's fine. Now if I turn the rate control here, you'll see it changing on the Keystep. Now it's faster than the Live III and I want that because that's too slow, that 90. I'm going to set this to 120 on the Keystep. Now back into the preferences, to the MIDI menu, and we'll turn this receive to MIDI clock. So if I press play, that's set that pattern going on that track 3, and if I play the arpeggiator, it's all running in time. So let's just record that arpeggiator into track 2, into this Dura track here. So we'll just put it into record mode. Stop this. If I press play start on the Live III, it's going to run at 90. Let's just bring this up to 120. So with this set to 120, and I press play start, you'll hear that arpeggiator has been recorded in. If I go to the range window, there are the notes recorded in. The Keystep's not doing anything now, so I've recorded that arpeggiator that was on the Keystep successfully into the Live III. So this is a very good combination, isn't it? The Arturia Keystep 37 controller keyboard and the AKAI MPC Live III. Like I said earlier, it's great to play the pads and all the rest of it, but you can't really beat the keyboard. I know you don't really need the arpeggiator in this because there's a really good one in the Live III, but just to show you how it's done. It's often very nice, isn't it, to have knobs to control parameters in synths with these 4 banks. So that's a good feature, isn't it? Obviously, there are controllers out there with much more in the way of knobs, sliders, faders to control things. But, you know, the idea with the AKAI for me is it's standalone, you know. and I like to keep that as much as I can like that. But sometimes you just can't beat bolting a keyboard onto it to play notes, record things in, play chords, especially if you're trying to make sort of real music, as I call it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. If you'd like to give me a bit of a helping hand with all the work that I do on YouTube and on my website, you can make a small donation. You can do that here on YouTube or via my website, which is preferable to me, and that is www.daddylonglegs.com. Thank you very much if you've already done that. I really appreciate it. It's very, very kind of you. Thanks for watching today, and you'll hear from me very soon, no doubt. Bye for now.